Chapter 7, Chaos Theory. By the time evening rolled around, everyone was exhausted. The obstacle course had worked them to the bone, and even Lola, the most athletic of the group, was sprawled out on the floor like a spent rag doll. Dexter had found a corner to nap in, groaning every time he moved, as if even breathing had become an effort. Who knew being a badass would be this much work? Chip muttered, rubbing his aching legs. Midnight, as always, looked completely unfazed. They were leaning against the wall, chewing idly on a squeaky toy, their eyes half closed as if deep in thought. "You're all still too slow." Dexter, who had finally roused himself enough to lift his head, groaned loudly. "We're not slow, we're just selectively fast. We can speed up when it matters." Midnight raised an eyebrow. "And when exactly is that going to be? After the Zoomies have torn through your defenses? You think they're going to give you a timeout to catch your breath?" Lola, who had been sipping water from her bowl, okayed up. "So what's their weakness, then?" "Every enemy has a weakness." Midnight smirked, clearly impressed with her question. "Their weakness is that they can't think beyond the next move. They eat fast, but they don't strategize. If you can outmaneuver them, make them trip over their own paws, you can win." Chip frowned, pacing back and forth. "So, we don't have to beat them head-on. We just have to confuse them." "Exactly," Midnight said. "But don't get cocky. Confusing them is harder than it sounds. They thrive in chaos. The more disorganized things get, the stronger they become." "Great," Dexter muttered from his pile of blankets. "So have to stay calm and collected while they're literally bouncing off the walls." Midnight nodded. "Pretty much." Bella sighed dramatically. "This is sounding less and less fun by the minute." Lola rolled her eyes. "This was never supposed to be fun, Bella." No, but I was hoping for at least a little excitement." "Not. Whatever this is." Bella gestured vaguely around the room, as if to suggest that all the sweating, dodging, and near-miss concussions were beneath her. Chip stopped pacing, his mind whirring with possibilities. "What if we preempt the chaos? If the Zoomies thrive on disorder, maybe we can set up traps to turn their own energy against them." Midnight's ears perked up at this. "Now you're thinking like a survivor." Dexter raised a paw. Wait. Traps? Are you suggesting we home alone the Zoomies? Like some sort of canine Culkin crew?" Chip smirked. "Exactly, Dex. We'll make sure they're afraid to even come near us." Dexter groaned again, dramatically flopping back into his blanket fort. "I don't like this plan already." Ignoring Dexter's complaints, Midnight crossed the room to the board where they had scribbled down strategies earlier. "All right, Chip. Let's hear your plan." Chip's tail wagged slightly as he moved to the front, his confidence growing. "Okay, so we know the Zoomies feed off of chaos, right? What if we create controlled chaos? We lead them into areas that seem chaotic to them but are actually carefully crafted to disorient them." Bella cocked her head. "Carefully crafted chaos? Like what? Setting up a fake chew toy convention?" Chip chuckled. "Not exactly. Thinking more along the lines of obstacle course psych, the one we trained on, except this time, we rig it to work in our favor. Tunnels that lead to dead ends, platforms that collapse, decoy balls that distract them." Lola's eyes lit up. "That could work. If we can make the Zoomies trip over their own speed, they'll tire themselves out before they can even get to us." Midnight nodded, clearly impressed. "It's risky, but I like it. We'll need to be quick with the setup, though. The Zoomies won't give us much time." Dexter groaned again. "And by we, you mean Chip, right? Because there's no way I'm gonna be any help with that." Lola laughed. "I help whether you like it or not. Loser." Dexter flipped her off dramatically once more. "Why is it always time to do something?" Midnight ignored the theatrics and began drawing up plans for the trap. "We'll need to gather supplies. Squeaky toys, old furniture, anything that can serve as a decoy. And we'll need to work fast." Chip turned to the others, a newfound determination in his voice. "Let's move. We've got Zoomies to outsmart." Bella groaned but stood up. "Fine. But I want it on record that I'm only doing this because I have nothing better to do." Lola laughed, rolling her eyes. "You never have anything better to do, Bella." Bella flipped her hair. "Exactly." With the plan in motion, the group set out to gather materials, each of them taking on different tasks under Midnight's careful watch. The next few hours passed in a blur of activity as they transformed the warehouse into a battleground of controlled chaos. Chip and Midnight worked on the traps, placing them strategically around the room. Lola, tested up under pressure, scouted toward Detoy and Dater. Dexter mostly napped, but he occasionally moved something heavy when asked. As the night wore on, the warehouse began to take on an eerie, almost haunted atmosphere. The shadows cast by the makeshift obstacles loomed large on the walls, and every creak of the floor seemed to signal the approach of something sinister. Dexter. Finally, as they finished their preparations, Midnight called everyone together. "All right, listen up. The Zoomies could hit any minute now. Stick to the plan, stay sharp, and don't let them overwhelm you." Chip nodded, his jaw set with determination. "We've got this." Lola cracked her knuckles. "Binge it on." Bella, ever the reluctant warner, sighed. "Can't wait to see how this goes horribly wrong." Dexter, shaking with nervous energy, muttered, "I'm too young to die." Midnight smirked, their eyes gleaming in the darkness. Let the games begin. With that, the stage was set. The Gen Z dogs were ready. And somewhere out in the night, the roll-hattle was about to begin. Zoomies were coming.